we saw that value of kappa, that is conductivity, depends upon the type of material you have taken, whether you have taken metal, non-metal or a metalloid. Value of K, that is conductivity, also depends upon concentration of the solution. So let's see how it depends upon concentration. So for pure water, let us take pure water. For pure water, value of kappa is 3.5 into 10 raised to minus 5 Siemens meter inverse. But instead of pure water, if you take 0.1 molar HCl, the value of kappa for that is 3.91. The unit remaining same. For 0.01 molar KCl and 0.01 molar NaCl, the value does not differ much. So the value of kappa is 0.14 and 0.12. Siemens meter inverse, Siemens meter inverse. So what can you say about variation of conductivity with concentration? So if you see, you change the concentration, you decrease the concentration, value of kappa is also decreasing. Also it depends upon the type of ions the solution produces. So KCl and NaCl has one ion common, that is Cl, but K is different, Na is different. So for them the conductivity is slightly different even though the concentration is same. So we can conclude that conductivity of a solution depends upon the type of electrolyte you are taking and also on the concentration of the solution. Okay, when you compare the conductance value, that is value of G, when you compare for electronic conductors and ionic conductors, then for electronic conductors the value of G depends upon nature and structure of the metal, that is type of the metal you are using. Some metals have high value of conductivity, some have low. It also depends upon number of valence electrons. Since they are electronic conductor, their conductance depends upon valence electrons per atom. Third, it also depends upon temperature of the wire. If you increase the temperature, there will be hindrance for the flow of electrons, so conductivity will decrease. Now, for ionic conductors, there are various factors on which conductance depends for ionic conductors. So, since you are taking a solution, it will be nature of solute. Then you have nature of solvent, whether the solvent is a polar or a non-polar, because polar solvent will increase dissociation of solute. So it will help into solute dissociating into ions. So it will produce more ions. So naturally conductivity will change. Also it depends upon size of the ions, whether the ions are smaller in size or bulkier in size. If they are bulkier, naturally they will move slowly. So whether the ion is smaller or bulkier in size. Then next one is concentration of the electrolyte. This we will study in detail in later topic. So let us leave it over here, just the concentration of the solution and temperature. Now here the relationship between conductivity and temperature is totally different from electronic. Here I said that G will decrease if you increase temperature, but here actually if you increase temperature, G will also increase, that is conductance will also increase, because when you increase the temperature, ions get more kinetic energy, they will move faster. Also temperature increase in temperature helps in dissociation of the electrolyte into ions. So you need to keep this in mind. Enough about electronic conductors. We are not studying physics, we are talking chemistry. Let us talk about ionic conductors in detail. Okay. How are you going to measure kappa value for ionic conductors? So measurement of conductivity for ionic solutions is our aim. Okay, since we know the relationship of G and kappa, G is equal to kappa into A by L. This is the relationship. We need to find the conductivity, because if we find the conductivity, we will be able to find G. But along with conductivity, there is one more thing which we need to find out. That is A upon L. So to measure conductance of an ionic solution, we need to know two things. That is, first one is conductivity, and the second one is this value, that is A by L. Okay. Now this A by L is actually area of cross section of the cell. L is the length between the electrodes you are taking. Electrodes. Now what are they? We will talk about that in just a few moments of time. So this A by L is called cell constant and is denoted by symbol G star. So cell constant value, if you know, then there will be only one thing left to know, that is conductivity. If we modify the formula, this will become K, that is kappa, is equal to G into L by A. In other words, if you want to calculate conductivity, you need to know the conductance of the solution and L by A value. Okay. G, we also know that G is inverse of resistance. So if you know resistance, you simply have to inverse it and that will give you conductance. So these are the relationships which you need to keep in mind while doing numericals. Okay. How to calculate conductivity of a solution? For that, we have conductivity cell. Which will help in calculation of conductivity, kappa. Now what is that conductivity cell? Conductivity cells are of different shapes. So I am drawing one over here. It's a tube. There are two electrodes sealed into it. One will be anode, one will be cathode, depending upon the cell reaction. Where oxidation takes place, anode; where reduction takes place, cathode. So these are basically platinum electrodes, platinized platinum electrodes. So platinum electrode is coated with powdered platinum electrochemically, and the distance between the two electrodes is called length, and this whole thing where the solution will be present is called area of cross section. So we cannot easily calculate area of cross section. We can calculate length between the two electrode, distance between the two electrode, L we can calculate. But area of cross section calculation is a little tricky one, and that is why this ratio L by A, this measurement is a tricky measurement. So to solve that purpose, we need to take that electrolyte whose conductance value we already know, and that conductance value can be calculated by knowing the resistance of the solution. And what about resistance of the solution? Resistance of the solution can be calculated by a principle. I am writing it over here. Wheatstone bridge. So resistance can be calculated using Wheatstone bridge. Using that resistance, you can calculate conductance. And if you know the conductivity of the cell, you know the conductance of the cell. So this will be the unknown value that can be calculated very easily. So whenever a conductivity cell is taken, we need to know this ratio. Once we come to know about this ratio L by A, using that ratio we can replace this electrolyte with different solution, and then we can calculate their conductivity. So first we need to take that solution whose conductivity is already known to us. So K is known, R can be calculated using Wheatstone, K is known, from R G is known, only L by A will remain, that we will calculate with this relationship. Once you know L by A, that will remain constant for the given cell. Once we know the value of cell constant, we can easily use this cell design to know the conductivity of different unknown solutions, other solutions. Hope this is clear.